This is the new Samsung Galaxy Watch 6. In today's real day in life review, we're gonna be testing out the new fitness tracking features, the new design, and tracking the battery life throughout the day. 12:16 a.m. Go to sleep with the watch and track my sleep. Good night. All I've done is sleep tracking overnight, and the battery life is currently at 81%. That amount of battery loss for sleep tracking actually feels super significant to me because it means that if you want to wear your watch overnight to sleep, you're then probably going to have to put it on the charger for like 10 to 15 minutes in the morning if you don't want to have to worry about the battery depleting throughout the day. I think one of the reasons why it takes such a hit is that it's synthesizing a lot of sleep data, and so you can access the sleep data both on the watch and then on the phone that you're using via Samsung Health. It will show you not only the time that you slept, so it was 7 hours and 44 minutes, but also the time that you went to bed. There's obviously a difference between the time that you're actually asleep and the time that you're in bed, like the time it takes you to fall asleep. And then it will also give you a sleep score. Within the sleep score, it shows you wakefulness and then physical and mental recovery. So it's tracking the different cycles of sleep, like your deep sleep, your REM sleep. So for mental recovery, like how good your memory is, you need a lot of REM sleep. And then for physical recovery, you need a lot of deep sleep. Now, my one issue that I have with a lot of wearables, and it comes up again here, is that I'm in this weird dichotomy where I love health data, like from a techie perspective, I think it's so cool that we can get this, but then there's not a lot of action you can take with it. So for example, it says that I had like a 66% mental recovery. What would be nice is if it then told me what to do from there. Like, do I suddenly start adding leafy greens? Do I drink an extra coffee today? What action can I take once I know that? I do think that the pro of like sleep tracking and health tracking like this is you can kind of see in aggregate how you're doing overall and like keeping to your goals. Like if you have a goal, like I do, of 8 hours of sleep a night, you can see if you're actually hitting that. It's 12:53, the watch is at 90%. Also so hot today in New York City. It's like 86 degrees, but it feels like 106 degrees. So we're gonna go to a coffee shop to get some cold brew. 10 out of 10 cold brew. All right, it's 2:05 p.m. The watch is at 81%, so the battery life is kind of falling apart a little bit, I feel like. One thing that this watch does really, really well is something called backtracking, where it will auto know when you're beginning a workout. Other smartwatches have this, like the Apple Watch has it as well, but I found that it's more consistent on the Galaxy Watch 6. Like it starts it more of the time. It also has heart rate zone tracking built into the health app, and I tested that out back in South Korea. In each zone, you get different health benefits. So for example, like the maximum zone 5 health is maybe where you see the benefits of like increasing like the all out type of stamina. And then zone 2 is more so where you can increase your overall endurance. Just did 26 minutes of indoor cycling. This tracked all the different zones throughout, and it seemed pretty consistent throughout. It also has something called stress tracking, which is a feature that I haven't seen in a lot of other watches, where it uses your heart rate and your body temperature to tell you on a scale how stressed out you are. Again, that is useful, but only as useful as it is actionable. So I do think that that is something worth considering. Like if it was able to tell you maybe the source of the stress, like is it physical stress, like you're sick, is it mental stress? That type of information would be helpful. On this watch, you have the main watch face, and then if you swipe up, you have your collection of all your apps, which is similar to the Apple Watch ecosystem. And then when you swipe to the right, you can also go through different like tiles, which I think is nice, but it just doesn't feel as fluid or smooth as some other products. I think the main comparison point that a lot of people would make would be to the Pixel Watch, and I think that this definitely is a nicer design and more optimized than the Pixel Watch, but it just doesn't feel as quick. Like I feel like there are a lot of times where I'm trying to do something on the product and it kind of hiccups for a second before it goes. It's crazy how ingrained tech is in every part of our lives. Like this giant tablet is how we're gonna order lunch right now. The casual magic of food. I think the overall value of the Samsung Galaxy Watch 6 is that you get a lot of health features. It's a pretty good watch, especially on the Android side of things, at a reasonable price, $299. I think the downsides of it are that the battery life is definitely not great. For the rest of the day yesterday, it was kind of just sitting idly on my wrist. This is now the next day, and it is at 39%. So it has decent standby battery life, but if you're using it for a lot of activity tracking or sleep tracking, the battery does deplete significantly quicker. Feels a little bit slow. And they also came out with the Galaxy Watch Classic, which has that rotating bezel, which I think is sick. So between those, I think it becomes like a design and also price point discussion. But overall, if you're in the market for a smartwatch and you're on the Android side of things, I think that this is a better buy than the Pixel Watch. If you want to check out another real day in life review, you can click right here. Thank you so much for spending today with me, and I will catch you in the next video.